Hello students, now you know when a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it will experience a force and we can say due to that force the conductor will move. Today we are going to discuss what will happen a moving conductor is placed in a magnetic field. Before going to discuss that, children, you have to know about one device, that is galvanometer. Here you can see galvanometer, that is a device used to detect the presence of current in a circuit. We can, children, ammeter is there, ammeter. If you want to measure the amount of current in a circuit, there you have to use this ammeter, but here this is galvanometer. By using this we cannot measure the amount of current passing through that, but we can use this galvanometer to check the presence of current. Current is there or not, that we can detect. Current is generating there or not, that we can detect by using this device, that is called galvanometer. It is represented by G. Let us discuss one activity. Here you can see AB, a large number of turns in this coil AB, and here you can see the two ends. A is connected here and B is connected here. Here you can see G written, that is a galvanometer. Why we are using galvanometer means if any current is produced there, we can detect the presence of current by using this galvanometer. So here this coil is connected to galvanometer. Here you can see this is a bar magnet. Now this coil is stationary. What we have to do means we have to move this magnet. You can see north pole here, south pole here. If this bar magnet, north pole of this bar magnet is moving towards this coil, what can you see, what can you observe in this galvanometer? You can see a momentary deflection towards right. Children, this is very important, this word momentary deflection. Why means if this magnet is moving, north pole of the magnet is moving towards the coil, at that moment you can see the deflection in that galvanometer, that is deflecting towards right. Then if you are moving this away from the coil, this north pole is moving away from the coil, that time you can see that galvanometer is deflecting towards left. There is a momentary deflection towards left. Then if this magnet is not moving, if this magnet is stationary, what will happen? You can't see any deflection in galvanometer. Children, from that we can say, you can see bar magnet here. Surrounding this bar magnet, what will be there? Magnetic field will be there. If this magnet is moving towards the coil, what will happen? There are some changes for this magnetic field. Due to that changes in magnetic field, a current will be generated in this coil. Okay, that's why you can see a deflection in this galvanometer. Due to the movement of this magnet towards the coil or away from the coil, due to change in that magnetic field, magnetic flux. Okay, what will happen means a current will be generated. Why? Due to the movement of this, a potential difference will be there, and due to that a current will be generated in this coil, and you can see the presence of current by that deflection in galvanometer. Listen children, here the coil is stationary. Stationary means coil is at rest and the magnet is moving. I told you, if the magnet is moving, north pole of magnet moving towards the end B of the coil, what will happen? Galvanometer deflect towards right. If you are moving this magnet away from the coil, I told you that galvanometer shows a deflection in opposite direction towards left. Okay. From that we can say, I told you galvanometer is used to detect the presence of current. Here, if the magnet is moving, magnetic field is getting changed. Due to the change in that magnetic field, a potential difference will be induced in that coil, and that is the reason for that deflection in galvanometer. Due to that potential difference, what will happen? A current will be induced in that coil. If that current is induced there, galvanometer will show deflection. So I told you, if magnet moving towards the coil, the galvanometer will deflect towards right, and if this magnet is moving away from the coil, galvanometer will deflect towards left. So we can say now the current is in opposite direction. If the magnet is north pole of magnet moving towards coil, current is in one direction. If the magnet is moving away from the coil, current is generated in opposite direction. From this we can say, if the magnet is moving there, a current is induced in that coil. Current is induced. We can call this process as electromagnetic induction. Now listen children. Now the coil is stationary and the magnet is stationary. Magnet is not moving there. That time you cannot see any deflection in galvanometer. Like that way, if this magnet is stationary and the coil is moving towards the magnet, that time you can see that galvanometer is deflecting. There will be a momentary deflection. Why this word momentary? If that coil is moving, at that moment you can see galvanometer is deflecting. Okay. If that coil is not moving, no deflection in that galvanometer, then if you are taking this away from the magnet, if this coil is moving away from that magnet, you can see galvanometer shows deflection in opposite direction. That means towards the magnet, away from the magnet. Direction changing there, the direction of induced current also changing there. Listen children, I told you about momentary deflection now. When the magnet is moving towards that coil, you can see at first the galvanometer pointer pointing towards 0. Okay, when the magnet is moving towards the coil, that day you can see that is deflecting towards right, then coming back to 0. Okay, like that way only you can see there. That's why it is called momentary deflection. At that moment you can see the pointer is deflecting towards right, then coming back to 0. If you are changing the direction of motion of magnet, you can see that is deflecting towards left. At that moment only you can see that deflection there. Now here you can see another one arrangement. In this you can see two coils, okay, having large number of turns, maybe 50 and 100 we can say. Here the coil which has more number of turns, that is represented as coil 1. We can call this coil as primary coil. Okay, here you can see comparing to this less number of turns here in this coil 2, we can call this as secondary coil. In this children you can see the first coil is connected to a battery and a key, and the second coil is connected to a galvanometer. Here children, if you are, now you can see the key is open here. If you are closing the key, what will happen? If you are closing that key, at that moment you can see a deflection in this galvanometer. Okay, then if you are opening this key, that time also you can see a momentary deflection in galvanometer. Listen children, after closing this key, I told you if you are closing that key, at that moment you can see galvanometer shows a deflection. Shows a deflection means it will go to one direction, then coming back to 0. Suddenly that is happening there. If galvanometer shows a deflection, we can say current is induced in this coil. That galvanometer is connected to this coil. From that we can say current is induced there. But you can see, if you are taking this, if you are opening this key, that time also you can see that galvanometer shows a deflection and going towards opposite direction, deflecting towards opposite direction, and at that moment it will come back to 0. That means at that particular moment only current is induced in that coil. Now, after closing that key, you are not taking that, you are not opening that. What can you say from that? That time the current passing through this coil is steady. No change for that current in this coil. That time you cannot see any deflection in this galvanometer. That means if this key is closed, that time You cannot see any deflection in this galvanometer. We can say no current is induced that time. Then if you are opening that key, at that moment you can see a momentary deflection in this galvanometer. Okay, what can you say from this? So, if the current in the coil 1 is changing, okay, that is 0 or that is steady, there you cannot see any deflection in galvanometer. If the current in that coil, the current passing through that coil is changing, you can see a momentary deflection in this galvanometer. What is the reason? Galvanometer shows deflection means we can say current is induced in coil 2. What is the reason for that, children? If you are closing that key, that time current will pass through this coil 1. You know, children, when current is passing through a conductor, magnetic field will be created there. Okay, and change will be there now. Now, if you are opening this, that time the current through that circuit is stopping there. That time also a sudden change in that magnetic field. If the magnetic field surrounding this coil 1 is changing, what will happen? Here also magnetic field there now. So, the magnetic field surrounding this coil 2 will also be changed. So, due to that change in magnetic field, what will happen? A potential difference will be induced in this coil 2. Due to that, we can say a current is induced in this coil 2. So, we can say, children, by changing the current in this coil 1, in primary coil, we can induce current in coil 2. So, we can call this as electromagnetic induction. Here electricity there, magnetic field there, we can say due to the change in current in the primary coil, we can induce current in secondary coil. Due to change in current in one coil. Okay, why that is? Due to the change in that current, what is happening? Magnetic field is changing here. Due to that, what is happening here? In that coil 2, a current is induced. We can call this phenomenon as electromagnetic induction. Children, we can say if the key is closed, that moment, at that closing moment, you know the current will pass through that circuit. You can see a momentary deflection in galvanometer which is connected to secondary coil. If you are opening that key, at that moment also you can see a deflection, momentary deflection in galvanometer. If the key is closed for some time, that time we can say current is passing through the circuit, but that current in the coil is steady. No change for that current. That time, children, you cannot see any deflection in galvanometer. Then, if the key is opened for some time, that time no current is passing through that coil 1, we can say there is no deflection in galvanometer. From this we can say if there is a change in current in that first coil, you can see a deflection in that galvanometer which is connected to secondary coil. As the current in the first coil changes, may be stopped or start moving through that, we can say the magnetic field associated with that changes. With that means with the first coil changes, hence the magnetic field associated with the second coil will also be changed. Due to that change in magnetic field associated with the second coil, we can say a potential difference will be induced in the second coil, and due to that there will be a current that is induced in that secondary coil. So, what is electromagnetic induction? The process by which a changing magnetic field in a conductor induces a current in another conductor is called electromagnetic induction. Children, this is the working principle of our generator, electric generator. Children, we can say there are two ways to induce current in a conductor. Okay, what are that ways? Means by changing magnetic field we can induce current in a conductor. That only we have seen in case of that second activity. Then that first activity also we have seen by moving that magnet, current is induced in that conductor. Okay, children, here we have to learn one rule which gives us the direction of induced current. We can call this as Fleming's right hand rule. Fleming's left hand rule we have studied in case of electric motor. That time I told you we can call that as motor rule. Today I told you working principle of electric generator is electromagnetic induction. Now this rule gives us the direction of induced current. So we can call this rule as generator rule. What is this rule? Fleming's right hand rule. According to this rule, we can get the direction of induced current in a circuit. Here, stretch the thumb, forefinger and middle finger of right hand so that they are perpendicular to each other. So, thumb, forefinger, middle finger, these three should be mutually perpendicular. If the forefinger indicates the direction of magnetic field and thumb gives the direction of motion of conductor, then the middle finger gives us the direction of induced current. Now you know what is mutually perpendicular, the direction between current and that direction of motion of conductor should be 90 degree. The angle between direction of motion and the direction of induced current will be 90 degree. The angle between induced current and that motion of that conductor, all these should be 90 degree. So we can say thumb, forefinger, middle finger, these three should be mutually perpendicular. Then this thumb gives you the direction of motion of that conductor. Index finger gives you the direction of magnetic field. Then middle finger gives you the direction of induced current. This is about Fleming's right hand rule.